So let's start with our warm-up. You can either do the warm-up standing or sitting. You might also want to, while you're standing, just holding on to the back of the chair if you're feeling a little bit unsteady. We'll start with our feet about hip-width distance apart, nice space of support. And we're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe in, lift the shoulders up towards the ears and then roll the shoulders back and down. So we breathe in through the nose if you can, and out through the nose or the mouth. Warming up into the shoulders. Let's do 2 more like that. And 1 more time. And then we'll take a breath in and reach the arms forward. And then as you breathe out, just float them back down again. Take a breath in and out. So we want to warm up into the shoulder area. Just see how the shoulders are feeling. They're going to be a part of all these exercises that we're doing. And then if you want, reach the arms up just that little bit higher. Just go to where it feels comfortable for your shoulders. Lovely. Let's do 1 more time. And now bring the hands down. We're going to lace the fingers. And as you breathe in this time, lift the hands up towards the chest. Then you're going to press the arms out in front. Soften the knees a little bit. Tuck the tailbone under and look down towards your toes. And then we bring the arms out to the side and then we'll float them back down again. Let's do that again. So take a breath in and breathe out. Press the arms forward. Look down towards your toes. Breathe in, open the arms out, and then bring the arms down. Lovely. Let's do 1 more time. Big breath in, breathe out, stretch the arms forward. Take a breath in, open the arms out, and then float the hands down. Lovely. And then just give the shoulders a little roll, and we'll start to walk on the spot. So remember, if you're sitting, you'll be doing exactly the same thing. If you are sitting on the chair, you want to maybe sit a little bit closer to the front of the chair so that you don't have your back resting on the chair. We want to sit up tall, we want to stand up nice and tall. And then with the arms, we're just going to relax the elbows as if we're walking outside and walking lightly on the floor. We don't want to feel like we're pounding the feet into the ground. Good. So with that walk, all we're going to be doing is walking forward 2 steps and back 2 steps. So let's go slowly to start off with. Stepping forward, stepping back. So if you're starting with your right leg, you'll be stepping back with your right leg. Imagine there's a square on the floor and we're walking into the corners of those squares. And the speed that you move at, it's really up to you. So you can move a little bit slower than me if you like. You can move a little bit faster. Just make sure you always feel like you're controlled as you're doing the movement. You might also want to increase the space between the feet as well. Take a big step forward or just take some small steps forward. So really just choose what feels right for your body. We'll do 1 more time and then we're going to do the same thing but leading with the other leg. So starting with your left leg, step forward and step back. Good. So warming up the legs but also starting to move the feet in different directions. Getting the knees nice and warm, the hips, the feet, the ankles. Good. Let's do that about 2 more times and then we'll come back to walking on the spot. Good. Now this next movement, we're going to walk for 3 and we tap the foot for 1. So let's slow that down a little bit. Start with your right leg. We walk 1, 2, 3 and we tap. And 1, 2, 3 and tap. Same thing here. You can move a little bit slower than me if you want or a little bit faster. Just make sure it feels like you've got a lot of control on what you're doing. And use the chair if you need to, if you feel like your balance is a little bit shaky. So we're either going to stay here on the spot. The other option we've got is to move this. So we can move forward and back. So next time you walk for 3, move towards me. So we walk 1, 2, 3, and then we tap, and then we walk back for 3, 2, 3, and tap. And again, forward, 2, 3, and tap, and back. Good. So travelling forward and being careful as you're walking back, picking your pace. If you feel like you can walk a little bit faster than I'm walking, go ahead. Remember, when you're doing this at home and you're on your own, you always want to feel like you're in control of all the movements that you're doing. Let's do that 1 more time, going forward and back. Good, and then back to walking on the spot. And now we're going to bring the feet out a little bit wider. And what we'll do here is we're just going to transfer our weight from one foot to the other. So if you're sitting down, you might want to come up to standing. You'd be standing behind your chair with your hands on the chair and transferring the weight from the right foot to the left, keeping the hands on the chair. If you're standing like me, you might want to pop your hands onto your hips. And then we're going to start to rotate the spine. So as you move to the right, let's turn a little bit to the right. Move to the left, turn a little bit to the left. And then if you want, you could reach across with the opposite arm. So now we're rotating our torso a little bit, warming up those muscles around the spine. We're challenging our balance a tiny bit, getting ready for something a little bit more challenging later on. And then with the arm movements, you might want to reach the arms up a little bit higher. Let's warm up the whole body. Even if our focus is on reducing our risk of falls, keeping our lower body strong, we want to make sure that the upper body is nice and mobile and flexible as well. Let's bring the arms back down, hands on the hips, and here let's just tap the feet in front. Good, and go back to our walk. Last thing we want to do is warm up just a little bit more into our hips. So we're going to come back to that parallel position, lift one foot, lift the other foot. So we're lifting the knees just that little bit higher. You might want to just roll to the tips of the toes, but if you're comfortable to lift the knee, just make sure that we've got our shoulders over our hips, that we're not leaning back. Good, and then you might reach across and tap the opposite thigh. So coming back into a bit more movement in your spine. And back to the centre, lovely. And then we'll do the opposite movement. So here we're going to bring the heel towards the bottom. So we're warming up into the back of the legs, into the buttocks. And you might feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the legs as you are shortening those muscles in the back of the thighs. Good, let's do two more like that. Last one, and then we walk it out. Great, now bring your feet a little bit wider apart. Let's take a couple of deep breaths in before we get going with the other exercises. So big breath in and out. And in, and lifting your arms to as high as what's comfortable for you. Let's do one more time. Big breath in and out. Well done. Shake everything out. We're ready to go and move on to our lower body exercises.